for career growth, collaborating for career growth, strengthening bridging program for settlement service providers. And I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional territories of the people of Turtle Island. The sacred land we are gathered today has been a site of human activity for 15,000 years. We acknowledge that the land OCASI is situated on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wet'suwet'en people, and is now home to many diverse First Nation, Inuit, and Métis people. This territory was the subject of the Dish with One Spoon, One Poon Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Ojibwe and the allied nations to peacefully share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. This covenant is designed to both share and replenish the resources of this land. It asks us to consider our collective responsibility to the past, present, and future, and to take seriously the teaching of indigenous people of this land as we live, work, and learn on it. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. At OCASI, we are committed incorporating the truth and reconciliation calls to action and the calls to justice from the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls report into our policy and advocacy efforts. Our sector-wide initiative reflects this commitment, including racial equity scans, anti-racism framework, and capacity building efforts that foster more profound understanding and meaningful partnership with Indigenous communities. We integrate those learning into our program, courses, and national conferences, ensuring that conversations about Indigenous solidarity remains ongoing and actionable. This session happening in partnership with a Career Foundation and OCASI. We are pleased to welcome you today, and I would like our partner, my partner from Career Foundation, Sandra Velasquez, to share with me the opening. And Sandra, floor is yours.
Thank you, Tarana, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today and for sharing all those amazing programs. So, Tarana, could you please scroll down? Thank you. There are a few things that we would like to remark today. Basically, as many of you already know, some of these bridging programs that we are presenting today might not be available right now. It doesn't mean that the programs are not there or not all the programs are perhaps taking intakes right now. As we know, depending on the funding, every program might be waiting for approval or a renewal. So in that sense, we advise everyone to connect with each program representative prior to referring any candidates. We will now like to start by presenting our guest speakers today. We have CARE, Center for Internationally Educated Nurses. We have a representative from JVS Toronto, the Catholic Center for Immigrants and Work Skills Employment Center, Access Employment, and lastly, George Brown College. We are all going to be hearing about programs for healthcare and social services professionals. So please, Tina, from CARE Center of Internationally Educated Nurses, you can take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you so much for having us be part of the presentation today. We are partners with everyone here in the 24 years that Care Center has been around. So I will just share the screen and we'll look at some slides. So, as I was saying, Care Center was started in 2001 by a group of concerned individuals representing organizations who realized that internationally educated nurses were coming to Ontario and applying to the CNO in a timely fashion or not. But even when they applied and were given direction, they really didn't know which steps to take. So we were given a grant from the Maitrey Foundation and then eventually began funding from the provincial government to assist IENs, originally to help them become registered and then later in our funding to assist them with employment. In 2016, we did receive funding from the federal government through Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada for a pre-arrival program, which was very beneficial because you don't have to actually be in Ontario to begin the registration process, particularly the credential assessment process. So we're very grateful to both the provincial government and to IRCC. So Care Center does have in-person services across southwestern Ontario, principally between Toronto and we also have locations London, Windsor, Hamilton, St. Catharines, a few locations in Peel, which of course was a very big growth area, a lot of newcomers settling there, and in Kingston, actually, I have to add that to that list. And then we had started offering teleconferencing services right across the province, including in the north. And then, as we all know, when 5 years ago, when the COVID-19 pandemic happened and we all moved to online, we have certainly continued to meet one-on-one with case managers, with our clients, and offering a lot of our professional development workshops now online. So while being in person and face-to-face, everybody knows how important and special that is, but certainly we have a full slate and a robust slate of online program offerings. So just to quickly take a look at the challenges and barriers for IENs, the regulatory process. It's complex. It varies in length depending on the background of the internationally educated nurse or IEN. As we always say, nursing is not nursing around the world. The profession can be quite different. Entering the regulatory process, these newcomer nurses, of course, going through the immigration process have all kinds of costs that they have to bear, and there are additional financial burdens going through the regulatory process. Getting recognition of their background, their credentials, their degree equivalencies in Ontario. Registered nurses, the domestically educated equivalent would be 4 years at the university level for a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, a baccalaureate degree. For registered practical nurses, that would be 2 years at the college level to achieve a diploma in nursing. And of course, around the world, there are not always those direct corresponding educational backgrounds. So again, with that as well, there is in Ontario a 3-year evidence of practice window. So to be in currency of practice, you have 3 years. So naturally, when IENs are coming to settle, those with families who have to get kids into schools and that kind of thing, there are all kinds of responsibilities and pressures. So it can be a very, very intense and complicated process. And naturally, once you go through the credential assessing, you go through any bridging education, then the licensing exam is upon the IENs. Once they're registered, they are looking for employment. We are happy to say that many of our longer-term employer partners are very eager to hire our internationally educated nurse members to give them non-regulated employment so that they're well-oriented to the workplace and certainly can transition into licensed work with these employers. However, just coming out of the gate looking for a job, there's that lack of local experience, Ontario or Canadian experience. In Ontario, it is against the law to ask for that experience. However, we all know resumes may be screened out just because of that. Sometimes they may not have job search techniques, resume formatting, how we do things here in Ontario versus how things were done. Some IENs might have transitioned into a job from their clinical placements from school. Again, no established networks, employment preparation, all of these things can be very daunting for IENs looking for their first jobs. In Ontario, the College of Nurses of Ontario, known as the CNO, had previously had 8 requirements to become licensed. There is now a 9th. As of April 1st, so in a couple of weeks' time, the CNO will be moving to a new licensing approach. In the past, they would not open an application for an IN until that National Nursing Assessment Service report was completed, looking at the IN's credentials. So that would be their education, where they were registered, and any additional education perhaps achieved through the workplace. Now, as of April 1st, the CNO is expecting that with the direct applications, maybe as many as 80% of the IENs will be deemed as having equivalent educational backgrounds in recognized jurisdictions of registration. However, they will still have to proceed with these requirements. So meeting the education requirement, if they are found to be not equivalent, they will have to take bridging educational program. The jurisprudence exam looks at legal and ethical issues in nursing. The evidence of practice we spoke of, so they will need to have been in current practice within the last 3 years. Care Center, working with CNO, does have the Supervised Practice Experience Partnership available to IENs who need to have a clinical practice to upgrade the evidence, and we can offer our members that. Language proficiency, of course, for IENs to join our program at Care Center, they need to have Canadian Language Benchmark 7 proficiency. We do have a lot of language interventions we can offer IENs who get in touch with us. But again, with the regulatory body, there is a language level that they need to achieve for English or French. The registration exam, of course, we were speaking about. And then there are the more practical parts of authorization to work, health and conduct, past offenses and findings. That would be the criminal record check. And sorry, let me just get rid of this, floating controls. And then as of April 1st, the transition to practice course will be mandatory. Again, Care Center has been developing that with educational partners with the University of Toronto and Toronto Metropolitan University. So both RN and RPN applicants will need to have that course with their new accelerated process of recognizing the background education and experience of IENs. So these are some of our supports for IENs. You see the logo down in the lower right, STARS. So with our PASS program I mentioned was funded by IRCC, Pre-Arrival Supports and Services Program. PASS is the acronym with STARS. It supports training and access to regulated employment services. So again, those are our Ontario-based services to IENs. So when an IEN joins Care Center, they are assigned a case manager. Hello to case managers. I saw you joining the session today. And really, once you join Care Center, you're a member for life. There's a one-time application fee, and then you will be working with your case manager and become part of the Care Center family. I've been with Care Center for 14 years, and I'm not even one of the longer serving employees. So When we say we're a family, we kind of do mean it. So working with the case managers, the INs go through that credentialing process, and the case managers will help them navigate that. Again, we are partners with the National Nursing Assessment Service, which is the credentialing program used by the CNO up until April 1st. That will change again, as we say, with the new way of doing things. And then, of course, in those earlier days, settlement support and employment access to positions in healthcare. Those were the non-regulated ones we talked about. And setting up mentoring. Our member IENs can access our mentoring program. We can get to that on a later slide at any point in their journey to registration. We do offer the programming to meet regulatory requirements, so preparation for registration exams, academic pathways we can refer to meet those competency education gaps, safe practice, professional development. We have a very robust slate of course offerings online or some in person.
Tina,
And
this is the
again,
interpreting team.
mentoring.
Tina, it's the interpreting team. Just going to ask you to pause a little longer between points. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. As you mentioned, we do tend to read faster than we speak. So reading off the slides, let me go slower.
Thank you.
Post-registration, employment access to positions in healthcare. We are very fortunate with Care Center's STARS program to have, I think we're up to about 26 formal employer partners with whom we have legal agreements to offer our observational job shadowing program, where IENs go physically into the workplace, shadowing with an expert nurse. They can explore various nursing sectors, so long-term care, acute care, community nursing. They can do that mentoring OJS program as many times as they wish. So it's really one of our cornerstone programs and very important to IENs. The workplace integration program we do offer to employers. They don't have to be our partners necessarily to assist with IEN integration in the workplace. So just so that both the IEN and the employer are well equipped for that transition. Again, our professional development offerings, other forms of career advancement. We do have an annual awards program, for instance, where we recognize one member RN and one member RPN as our IENs of the year. Many of those do become Care Center ambassadors, but of course we have many others in the Care Center family who do become ambassadors for the organization. Just take that away. So this is our case management model. The IEN, as you can see, is at the center of everything we do. And we are based on a case management model, how we deliver our services. So you can see with those varying rings, the NNAS application, CNO application, registration and employment. And we do that through our very privileged partnerships we have through various employers, health services, professional associations, academic, educational partners, and community partners in the settlement sector. And these are all various areas where we assist IENs with language and communication supports. The exam preparation, again, settlement support and referral, the mentorship, further networking, professional development, and academic support and referral. Again, since Care Center has been around for 24 years, we also very proudly have some of our member IENs serving as case managers in the organization. And with that time that has passed, we have many of our members who have moved up in their careers and are in positions to mentor and hire some of our member IENs. I know that our program manager, Rola, is here. I think I saw her in the attendees. Rola is also one of our member IENs, and now, of course, integral to developing our programming. So our professional development workshops, there are 4 main areas where we develop and offer this programming. communication and workplace integration. As we always work with our member IANs, making sure we're emphasizing that you can have 10 out of 10 clinical skills, rock solid clinical skills, but if you're not communicating in the nursing workplace, then that can cause issues. So, and it's not just a question of English language or French language proficiency, it's all those other cultural nuances that we help our IENs with, and important areas such as conflict resolution. Licensure and exam preparation, that can be for the NCLEX or REXPN for RN or RPN registration. There is also the OSCE, the Objective Structured Clinical Examination, known as the RNCCAP, that we can assist our members to be prepared for that. Nursing essential and technical skills. So again, these are some of the ones that are done more so in person. These would be clinical skills such as wound care, IV therapy, we just had recently. So again, all important learnings in our Ontario healthcare context, and refreshers. Employment and career development. Again, we're very fortunate to work with some of our employer partners to offer those programs, and things like our employment strategies workshop, which involves prepping your resume and mock interviewing as well. And we are working with partners to try always to be on the cutting edge with opportunities for our IENs. LIFA is the Learning Interprofessionally Healthcare Accelerator from CLRI and Baycrest. And this actually prepares IENs to work in the long-term care sector. But these learnings are offered in the format of the gaming context. So you can move through various environments, gain badges, all kinds of fun things like that. And our members really do enjoy it. It's I guess, the next wave in learning. Our mentoring programs, I did mention observational job shadowing. That is with our employer partners, mostly across Southwestern Ontario. A lot of them are in the Greater Toronto area. We do have partners who've been with Care Centre from the start. For instance, St. Michael's Hospital and the Yihong Centre for Geriatric Care. Those were two of the parties who were at that planning table to create Care Centre, and they're still very much a part of the observational job shadowing program. We also have virtual mentoring. So with virtual mentoring, obviously we had to turn to that during the COVID-19 pandemic when everything went online. But we have kept that going because it has evolved into a wonderful separate program from the in-person program, because nurses who are expert in certain disciplines or specializations in nursing are able to still meet online on Zoom, and usually we try to do that with at least 3 of our members. And for instance, we could never have our members meet with an operating room nurse because you don't want to have an extra body in an operating room. And now we do have an expert nurse from OR who does virtual mentoring with our clients. So that's why, of course, it has remained a very beneficial program offering for us. Language and communication skills. We do have an ICELBAN or institutional CELBAN. CELBAN stands for the Canadian English Language Benchmark Assessment for Nurses. When you join Care Centre, that is part of your membership, and that will assess the speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills. To maintain your membership with Care Centre, we do need that level set by the government, which again was the CLB 7, but that's averaging out. And we can offer individual courses for IENs who might like to bring up one of those assessments in one of the 4 of speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So one of those 4 skills might be a little less proficient than the other. so they can focus on that from our online offerings on our Canvas learning platform. And again, with our communications courses in professional development, those communication skills that are so necessary with working in the interprofessional healthcare team, which of course is our Ontario healthcare model, our Canadian healthcare model, and of course working with patients and family members. So to be eligible for STARS, again, these are the requirements set by the Ontario government for our funding. The IEN must be a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident, convention refugee, or a refugee claimant eligible to work in Ontario. There again is the language proficiency we spoke of with CLB 7 or higher. And 3, we do need the proof of nursing background, education, and work experience from your country to scan and upload the documentation. Or if those documents have gone to NNAS, then as long as we have the verification from the National Nursing Assessment Service. There are unusual circumstances that come up, such as with the situation in Ukraine, where the government does change the parameters of membership, where they will allow us to work with IENs who might not otherwise meet the standard criteria. So to recap, that one-time payment of $150, again, should that fee cause any barrier to membership? Gilda, hello, Gilda, I think she's here too, who is our client engagement lead. You can always speak with her when she follows up from your membership application. So you work with one-on-one with your case manager, again, address your language needs. You access the online and in-person skills workshops, those professional development opportunities. We also have a lot of meet the employer sessions where employers will present, and some of them will even present in the morning and then do sort of first round interviews with our members online following their Zoom presentations. We also have meet the employer sessions and community forums where we invite our members to go out into the community to meet with employers. Some of them also offer in-person professional development on their premises. Again, the mentorship opportunities with the expert nurses. We also offer a 1-year complimentary IEN membership to the Registered Nurses Association of Ontario, RNAO, or to the Registered Practical Nurses Association of Ontario, known as WeRPN. And then referrals for language settlement, financial supports, community and academic resources. All of those partners you saw represented in our graphic representation of our case management model. And again, access to all care center language and communication, professional development, mentoring, networking, workplace transition services, and programs. So this is our website. I can copy that and put that into the Q&A. info@care4nurses.org if you have any questions and follow up. And thank you so much for listening to the presentation and being here today.
Thank you, Tina, very much. And you can copy paste the contact information, put on the chat room for everyone to access. And now I would like to invite Parisha Rahmena from GVS Toronto to talk about bridging IVA SAGE bridging program for international skills applied for geriatrics.
Thank you,
Parisha?
Tarana. Yes, I'm here. Hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I am from JVS Toronto. Let me share my screen with you, and then we can start the presentation. Okay.
While we're waiting for the screen to come up, just a reminder from the interpreting team to read carefully from the slides. It's appreciated.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, JVS Toronto have been around since for a very long time, 77 years. ISH is an bridging program for international skills apply for geriatrics, and I will explain, give you an overview. So ISH is an innovative alternative career training program to explore employment in the high demand field of social services for geriatrics. And if you ask why geriatrics and why social workers for geriatrics, here's are some statistics and information for you to see and to refer to. The Toronto Senior Strategy projects that our senior population will increase from 18% to 21% by 2046. By 2036, there will be between 9.9 and 10.9 million seniors in Canada, according to Statistic Canada. Canada has an aging population. As of July 1st, 2015, there were more people aged 65 years and older in Canada than children under the age of 15 years. This demographic shift will present unprecedented opportunities for those serving our aging population. The shortage of skilled workers was intensified by COVID-19 and will continue to put increased pressure on hospitals, nursing homes, and community programs. The province continues to invest in educating geriatric workers, but an urgent response is critical to support the 78,000 aging Ontarians. These are some statistics from Statistic Canada, portrait of Canada's growing population and the demand for geriatrics. The senior population is one of the fast-growing age groups in Canada. Currently, 2.3% of the population is age 85 and older. By 2046, the population aged 85 and older could triple. And growing senior population means more seniors will need paid or unpaid continuing care support. And the demand for gerontology professionals is going to increase as these people live through their older adult life. So now, if you're convinced why geriatrics, I will present to you ISAGE Bridging Program. In ISAGE, we support IMGs, international trained doctors, nurses, teachers, social workers, psychologists, or other healthcare professionals to explore employment in the high demand of social services for geriatrics. This program is 12 weeks long, hybrid, followed by a placement. Program is designed and delivered in partnership with George Brown College. The program is funded by Ministry of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development of Ontario. ISAGE started in 2018. So far, we have delivered 11 cohorts and we had 246 graduates. I will give you an overview of the trainings that we provide at ISAGE, International Skills for Geriatrics. Some trainings from JVS, exploring alternative careers and job search preparation, labor market research, networking, LinkedIn, Canadian workplace essentials and communication, seniors and aftermath of COVID-19, system navigation for seniors and vulnerable populations, mentorship program with TRIAC and guest speakers from the field, followed by work and as well as placement opportunity upon successful program completion. From George Brown College, our participants receive two different courses. One is Fundamental of Gerontology, and the other one is Essentials of Counseling, which they will get a certificate for these courses, as well as a certificate from JBS. Other than the trainings that I mentioned, we also have other trainings from external vendors that we invite, and they will give trainings/certificates to our participants. So the one of the organization is Alzheimer's Society of Toronto, who delivered 3 different trainings for our participants. Gentle Persuasive Approach is one of them. You First is the second one. And the last but not least, Dementia Foundations, again from Alzheimer's Society of Toronto. From AAPS College, we have Food Handling training/certificate, Standard First Aid and CPR/AED from Toronto CPR, Active Aging Certificate from CanFit Pro, Indigenous Awareness Training from Indigenous Corporate Training, Inc. And we also offer 2 days of workplace exposure to our participant. We take them for a visit to a long-term care facility, as well as a retirement home. Here I'm going to give you a little bit of background about the educational background of our participant. Who are they? So if you would like to refer someone to us, you know who to refer. Medical doctors, nurses, midwives, medical lab technologists, occupational health therapists, social workers, nutritionists, psychologists, epidemiologists, and dentists, and also pharmacists. They can be referred to us. These are a sample of the job titles that our graduates were able to secure after they finish the program. I'm not going to read through all of them, but I'm going to pause a little bit and I mention a few. For example, geriatric case manager, physician assistant, nutrition clerk, IPAC lead position, nursing clerk, and also some of our participants, they were able to secure a position in a community and social service provider services, such as some of the titles that they were able to get as a paid job, outreach worker, and as well as community living support worker, client resource worker, and more. Here are some of a sample of the organization who have hired from us, who have hired our graduates. Sienna Senior Living is one of them, Sunnybrook Hospital, Paramet Home Health Care Center, Sherburne Health Center Corporation, NP Health Clinic, Cardio Health, some of the social service providers like Loft Community Service and Fred Victor also hired from our graduates. There are so many more, but I just put some examples for you to see and get familiarized. And we also, I'm not sure why I cannot go to the next page here. Sorry, I have technical difficulties. Okay. So here we get to the eligibility criteria for the program. Permanent resident, naturalized Canadian citizen who have been in Canada for less than 10 years, conventional refugee, refugee claimants with valid work permit, CUAET, and being a resident of a GTA is an essential or a criteria for being eligible for this program. And some of the document that we required from our participants who are interested to join the program, they must have a CLB of 7, minimum of 6 we accept, a copy of their immigration status, a copy of their educational degree or an evaluation that is evaluated by WES or other organizations. We need to see that they have education and at least 2 years of experience in healthcare or social work from their back home. They need to be fully vaccinated, and we need to have an updated resume from them. The program, as I mentioned, is government funded. There is a registration fee for admin of $149. Location of the program is hybrid, as I mentioned. However, for some of the trainings, it's online, like all of the classes are mostly online and on Zoom, but some trainings like CPR, for example, it's in person, and also the visits. The schedule of the classes are between 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday to Thursday. This is including the 2 courses from George Brown College. There is an attendance required of 80%. As I mentioned earlier, the program is followed by a placement between 70 to 420 hours. The employment support that we offer to the participant is employment counselors and workforce specialist support. And for the retention and follow-up, we have 3, 6, 12, and 24 months follow-ups after they finish the program. These are some information for the next cohort coming up. We are planning to start May 12th. We also planned 4 different info sessions between March 19 to March 28. I can share the link to get to the info session from the website in the chat box. And these are some dates, the dates that we have planned to hold our info sessions. I'm going to pause a little bit if someone needs to take a picture. And here, thank you very much. If there is any inquiries, please reach out to us at ish@jvstoronto.org.
Thank you very much, Parisa. Was a very nice presentation. And now I would like to invite Mijdi Al-Kushi from the Catholic Center for Immigrant and World Skills Employment Center to present the Career Transition for International Health Professionals program. Floor is yours, Mijdi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to present our program and also present the organizations that lead the program, and also for the opportunity to know all of you. And we look forward to future collaboration with all of you. So our program, I just have 9 slides, but the actual number of slides are way more than that. But for the sake of time, I reduced the number. But again, at the end of the presentation, I will leave the contact information. So anyone who's interested, whether clients or organizations, please feel free to reach out to us. The name of our program is Career Transition for Internationally Trained Healthcare Professional. CTIHP. Our program is funded by the Government of Ontario. I'm just going to remove this one here. And the program is there are two organizations work on this program. CCI, which stands for the Catholic Center for Immigrants, and World Skills. CCI is the leading organization for this program. Both organizations are based in Ottawa. They have been in the field for more than 25 years, and the program itself has been operating for more than 15 years. So the purpose of our program is to basically support international trained health professionals to overcome the challenges they have when they arrive in Canada. Now, the purpose is to, one, to provide them with extensive knowledge about the Canadian healthcare system in terms of the structure, barriers, and also knowledge about the workplace culture and communication style. And we provide them with employment support in order to enable them to secure employment in non-regulated occupations that align with their qualifications. I will do my best to speak as slow as possible, so then the other colleagues can follow up. As I said at the beginning, that CCI is the leading organization for this program. CCI provides a variety of services. Some of them about settlement, housing, employment, languages, also healthcare. We have a clinic inside the building, and also we provide services regarding counseling and recreation, and also we work with youth. World Skills focus on employment. World Skills provide a variety of programs these programs cover around 15 different sectors. And all these programs have clients with different requirements, and World Skills serve all these clients. Now, for our program, what is it? Basically, first of all, our program is free of charge, okay, because we are funded by the Government of Ontario. It is tailored for internationally trained doctors, nurses, pharmacists, medical lab workers, and more. Okay, so this is not a comprehensive list. The program is delivered virtually and serves all Ontarians. So there's a list actually for the workshops that we provide, but I didn't put them here for the sake of time. But basically, these workshops, there are around 10 workshops. We provide information about the Canadian healthcare system, about the labor market. We talk about the national classification, NOC codes, and the importance of different job titles. Of course, all of them revolve around the non-regulated jobs. We also, since all our clients, when they arrive here, they need some time to adjust, and if they have families, they need to send their kids to school, find housing, all that. So many of them, they are not ready to go into licensing, and their main focus is to find a job that is non-regulated and at the same time align with their previous work experience. So therefore, we focus on the idea of transferable skills. where we can let them know how to use their previous skills, actually tailor it and present it to employers for the non-regulated jobs. The other thing also we talk about the importance of networking. And one of the highlight of the workshops is a mock interview. So basically, we dedicate the whole day, okay, sometimes more than that, it depends on the number of clients in the cohort, where we assign our clients to any one of us. So we are a team of 5. And basically, we conduct a mock interview for 15 minutes with every single client. We record that mock interview. And then after that, we share that video with them with a very comprehensive assessment for the interview. And we encourage them to keep that. And every time when they are invited to a job interview, they would watch that video and just make sure that they work on the areas that they need to improve, and also review the assessment report we provided. Now, after clients finish the mandatory workshops, now we have okay, thank you. So we provide one-on-one support. Case management plays a very important role in our program. Each client will be assigned to, as I said, to one of us. And we usually work individually with these clients. We meet with them as soon as they finish all the workshops. We talk about their career goals, career expectations, and then based on that meeting, we design an action plan and provide them resources based on that. And then after that, we start scheduling, sometimes weekly meetings, sometimes we meet them once every 2 weeks. It depends on the availability of our clients. And we start to work with them. So as I said, case management is very important for us. And we always tell our clients, you are not alone. So we walk with them the journey of employment. And basically in these weekly meetings, we start to explore the action plan. We start to explore their career goals. And then we start working with them on the resume and cover letter, because most of, if not all of our clients, they come from countries where basically as soon as you graduate from university, you start working for the government. So this idea of resume and cover letter and even networking and LinkedIn profile is very foreign to them. So we really dedicate lots of time and effort with every single one of them to work on their resumes and their cover letters, their LinkedIn profile, and also the job interview techniques. And so every time, like when they find a suitable job, we basically work with them. We tell them to, draft your resume and cover letter and send them to us. Then we have a Zoom meeting, and we work with them on these resumes and cover letters as many times as it takes until these resumes and cover letters are good to go. And it's the same when they have a job interview. We also meet with them. And even before, we always tell them that even before you are invited to a job interview, let us work together and get you ready for that. And the other thing we do with them after they finish the mandatory workshops, we actually provide them with weekly job lists. So one of my colleagues, she's a job developer, And basically, she relies on the different organizations that we work with, like hospitals, research institutes, community health centers. And so we always, anytime they have jobs, we basically get these jobs and share it with our clients. The other thing we do, we cooperate with so many other organizations. Like, for example, if clients are looking for, maybe they have a job interview, but yet maybe they have the suitable, the outfit for that. So we cooperate with organizations that provide such services. Or if they need, for example, laptops, maybe they don't have. So also we cooperate with other organizations to provide their service. Or maybe if they need some courses to upgrade their digital skills, and more, many more services we have. Now, who can participate in our program? So basically, everyone who lives in Ontario, they are eligible to participate. Usually, we ask our clients to provide a proof of address. Okay, that could be anything. Could be lease agreement, or maybe could be a bill for phone, internet. Anything that has the official address, and it's coming from any organization that is based in Ontario. We also require to have their international post-secondary education degree or diploma that is relevant to health, of course. The other thing, we request an updated resume. And we also require English assessment. So we require CLB 7, okay? Now, if they don't have CLB 7, or if they don't have CLB, then we are okay with IELTS, TOEFL, or many others. And it doesn't matter if they are expired or not, okay? So, so if there's any clients here, they worry about that, we don't need to worry about it. We don't need up to date. All what we need is CLB 7. Now, for the other type of, like, for example, if it is IELTS, then it would be IELTS 6, okay? So anyway, whatever you have, and if you are not sure, just contact us and let us know what you have, and we will let you know whether it is enough, or we will refer you to other organizations that provide these services. Regarding the immigration status, so they should be, as I said, Ontario permanent resident or a refugee claimant with valid work permit. But of course, this one is not applicable to the refugee claimant document for Ukrainian newcomers. Just to have the valid work permit, that would be enough for us, and to be naturalized Canadian citizen, and also protected clients, protected refugees. We usually require clients, we always tell them from the beginning, and whether when they reach to us through phone calls or even info sessions or like emails, we tell them commitment is very important. So basically, clients need to attend all the mandatory workshops, and they need to turn on their camera, okay, as much as possible, and integrate, because this will give us the chance to know them well, okay? Because this is also one of the services we provide to our clients is a recommendation letter. So their participant and the level of engagement will give us the chance to know more about their soft skills, okay? And also, it's a chance for them to network and connect with their peers. And it's the same after we finish all the mandatory workshops. There is also a commitment when it comes to time meeting their employment counselors, really working with us on their resumes and cover letters and even LinkedIn profile. As I said, we don't leave our clients on their own. So we don't wait for them to reach out. Basically, we reach out to them all the time because from experience, we know, especially for the married ones, when they have, they have families, maybe sometimes they have jobs, okay? So we know they are busy, we know they are overwhelmed, we know the process if they are thinking of licensing. So it's a very, it's not an easy process. So therefore, we make sure that we reach out to them all the time and we support them. And even sometimes just to talk to them, because it's very important and we understand all that. So therefore, we tell them from the beginning, it's a partnership. Okay, and you are not alone in this process. The other thing I want to also talk about it's the number of cohorts. So every year we have between 4 to 5, sometimes 6 cohorts. Okay, and each cohort we will have around 20 clients. Okay, because that is our commitment to the funder, the government of Ontario. So these are as you see here, we have the email address of the career transitions, and this is also the website of it. And Marianella is the program coordinator. That's her email address, and this is my email address. I will copy paste it in the chat. So then everyone would like to have it. They can have access to it and connect with us. And so this is the end. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. I will stay for a while. If you have any questions, please feel free. And if not, then, I will paste the information here, contact information, so you can reach out whenever you want to. So here's in the chat.
Thank you very much, Majdi. We will have
You're
question
welcome.
and answer session at the end.
Sure.
Participant can use the tool that Zoom offers, as well as at the end you will be able to raise your hands and ask questions.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Majdi. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. And now I would like to invite Willa Tam from Access Employment to present a community healthcare connection bridging program. Willa, is floor yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Willa Tam, and I am the program manager at Access Employment for the Healthcare Connections program. And I want to say thank you to OCASI and the Career Foundation for organizing this webinar for all our settlements counterparts, so that we are able to present our support for internationally educated healthcare professionals and support them into employment. So first of all, a little bit about the access employments, in case if you're not aware what we do. So Access, we are a leading employment services organization that provides innovative programs to job seekers and employers. We have about 7 locations across the Greater Toronto area. And over the year, we work with over 56,000 job seekers each year, and we have over 42 employers in our network. And at Access Employment, our goal is to help job seekers to overcome barriers to employment. So we assist job seekers from diverse backgrounds, and you can see from our screen here that the majority of our clients are newcomers and they are immigrants. And we want to make sure that we provide the support necessary for them to integrate into the Canadian job market. And we achieve this by providing employment support, linking employers to skilled people, and building a strong network to collaborate with our community partners. Now, Access Employment's work with internationally educated healthcare professionals has been growing and developing for nearly a decade now. At first, our organization has done a lot of research before entering into this area, as it is highly complex. And we know that internationally educated healthcare professionals are faced by both licensure barriers, employment barriers, as well as occupational change barriers. And so we want to make sure that we are offering programs that are meeting our clients' needs. So we consulted with a lot of health systems stakeholders for nearly 2 years before we started launching the Healthcare Connections program with a federal funding from IRCC in 2017. And the success of this program helped us into expanding the project with funding from Ontario Ministry of Labor, Immigration, Training and Skills Development in 2021. And in 2022, we were very unfortunate to be selected to be a partner within Team Primary Care, which is an initiative run by the College of Family Physicians of Canada to expand health systems' capacity to deliver interprofessional care. And it really started to evolve our engagement with a wide range of health system stakeholders across Canada. And we feel proud to also announce that as of 2024, we put forward these strong stakeholders relationship to the launch of 2 new projects, and one of which is called Health English Language Pro, and it is supporting the medical professionals who are new immigrants to enhance their medical English capacity. And the other project is with the Canadian Pharmacists Association to support the international pharmacy graduates mentorship and integration projects. The Healthcare Connections program, we are designed for internationally educated healthcare professionals and internationally trained immigrants to help them to transition into alternative non-licensed career options. So our focus is always on employment. So we focus on job seekers with a healthcare background who are either a licensed professionals, but not pursuing licensure at this point of time, or they are exploring opportunities to stay connected in the healthcare industry while they are pursuing licensure. And because licensure process for many of our regulated healthcare professionals are so lengthy, so complex, and has such a high cost to it, we want to ensure that our internationally educated healthcare professionals are able to gain experience in the healthcare industry and to contribute their skill sets while they are pursuing or not pursuing licensure. And we also are supporting those who have experienced in a non-licensed but high demand health professionals. So we are here to help our participants to develop a skill set that are necessary to transfer their healthcare experience into non-licensed career options into the broader healthcare sector. And some of my colleagues here on the call already mentioned about some of the barriers to employment, including the fact that they may never had to write their resume before. And if they have, they really need the guidance to adapt that resume into a Canadian format. They may not have been in an interview panels before, or they may not have done a lot of networking before immigrants. So we want to make sure that we have the support for them in terms of supporting them to contribute their skill sets toward working in the broader healthcare sector. And so all these that I talked about, it's one of the sector-specific services to support internationally educated healthcare professionals to finding success in an alternative non-licensed healthcare careers. We do offer bridging programs under funders of IRCC or the Ministry of Labor, Training and Skills Development. And these are online delivery, and all streams are between 5 to 6 weeks in duration, with a combination of online delivery, in-class guest speaker sessions, group activities, and really focusing on securing high quality employment. And we also have under our portfolio, as I mentioned, Health English Language Pro, or HELP, and which is a project that we use to build these bridges between volunteer physicians and newcomer physicians so that newcomer physicians can practice medical terminology while developing knowledge of healthcare communication nuances and the inner workings of Canadian healthcare. So what this project does is we pair volunteer physicians with newcomer physicians to focus on healthcare language and communication. And the last project under our portfolio is a partnership with the Canadian Pharmacists Association, which we support international pharmacy graduates or IPGs in overcoming barriers to career entry through learning, networking, mentorship opportunities, as well as practical work experience in Canadian pharmacy. So we support the employment side of things as well as supporting the networking and connecting these IPGs to a work placement within our network. So as I mentioned, our program started 8 years ago, and we have been using a holistic service delivery approach to provide healthcare professionals the tools to achieve goals and success. We have served over 500 participants since we started, and over 85% of our participants found success in a variety of employments from part-time, full-time, entry level to mid-level employments within the last year. And this year, she was among one of the healthcare professionals who secured a very good position with Health Common Solutions Lab within Sinai Health. And she has started working as a project coordinator and was soon promoted to her current role. And she said that the Access Employment Program helped her to develop the resume and referred her to Health Common Solutions Lab. And we provided the guidance throughout the process and prepared her for the interview. And so collaborating with health systems employers has been very central to our success in healthcare connections. So a couple of our really closely collaborated employers included Health Common Solutions Lab. We have run different kind of recruitment drive for them and leveraging on their backbone support to the community health sector. We worked really closely with LAM community health centers as well, supporting our participants into roles such as community health ambassadors. We have training partners such as Centennial College, working with organizations and employers such as University Health Network, Apple Tax, etc. But it's not just the employers who are important in health sector. The professional association and licensure bodies are critically important to building supportive environments for the internationally educated healthcare professionals so that we can continue to provide a supportive environment to address these barriers to their licensure, right? So the Canadian Medical Associations has recently highlighted our programming in their Real Talk series, and the College of Family Physicians is also a regular projects collaborator. And as well, I just mentioned about Canadian Pharmacists Association as well as NEPRA, who we aim to help international pharmacy graduates to make informed decisions about licensure and practice in Canada, because pharmacies might not be the same kind of pharmacies in Canada or in among different provinces. The scope of practice could be very different from where they immigrated from. So some of the success of our participants in non-licensed career, what does that look like? So we had really highly successful participants and alumni who graduated from the bridging program, who went on to work as clinical research coordinator in University Health Network. We have someone working at York Region as health educators, freshly as cabby with opportunities of pharmacovigilance associates, etc. And so as mentioned, the bridging program portion of the Healthcare Connections portfolio, it is a 5 to 6 weeks full-time program. We do run these sessions online Monday to Fridays from 9:30 to 4 p.m. and they are delivered online via Zoom with some in-person event opportunities. We do offer ongoing cohorts, so about 6 cohorts in a year. Our next cohort is going to start sometime in May, and this is where we are aiming to offer the session. And so how do they become eligible for the Healthcare Connections program? So we do ask our participants to have a minimum of Canadian language benchmark in 7+ preferred. We do take IELTS academic or general in all 4 areas. And our participants have to be educated at a post-secondary level outside of Canada in a regulated healthcare profession. So these could be medical doctors, dentists, pharmacists, etc. And in terms of immigration status, they have to be permanent residents, convention refugees, refugee claimants with a 1-year Canadian work permit, naturalized Canadian citizens, or Ukrainian national with an emergency travel visa. And so these are requirements from our funders. And we do also ask for our participants who joined us to have at least 1 year of work experience in a licensed healthcare profession or in a non-licensed healthcare profession outside of Canada with a little to no previous Canadian work experience in the healthcare sector, as well as our participants have to reside in Ontario. And so based on all these factors, educational background, immigration status, interest, then we will be enrolling participants into an upcoming offer of the cohorts. And so for those who are interested in our program, we do offer regular info session that will start sometime in April. So they could register for these information session. I will share our team's email address in the chat, as well as our website at Access Employment, where participants can find more information on how to register for an info session in order to be considered for the program. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Willem. And now our last presenter from George Brown College, Joshua Moshe, will talk about ESL and Immigrant Education Bridging Program. Joshua, floor is yours.
Great, thank you, Tarana. I'll just share my presentation here. Okay, so thanks everyone for hanging on to this point. My name is Josh Moshe Mandel, Manager Business Development and Partnership Engagement within the School of ESL at George Brown. So George Brown is a large institution, so I will provide a little overview or a short overview of the college and kind of how we are organized from an academic perspective, and then highlight some of our programs that specifically support newcomers and some of the services we provide to all students at the college. Okay, so in terms of some general information, and I also should preface this presentation as well. Many of you are likely aware, as you see and read and hear the news, the college and really the post-secondary sector at large in Ontario is going through a lot of challenges at the moment with a lot of changing both provincial and federal policies. So some of the information I present or will be presenting is relevant and accurate as of today. So also I would encourage everyone to continue visiting our website in case there are any changes to come after today. So George Brown is a public college. We were founded along with all the other public colleges in the province like Humber and Seneca, Centennial. We're a large college, as you see, in terms of our full-time enrollment, but we also have a large number of part-time students at the college. and a very diverse college in terms of our student body, with a significant number of international students, but as well as domestic and newcomer students. And so it's a very multicultural place. We have 3 main campuses, which I'll speak to in a moment, and continue to be highly regarded in terms of our applied research. So for those that aren't familiar with George Brown, we're the only public college that is located downtown, or at least all of our campuses. I know there are some other colleges that have taken up some physical space throughout the city, but we have 3 campuses called St. James, which is closest to King Subway Station around King and Jarvis. We have a number of buildings at that location. Our Casa Loma campus, which is closest to DuPont Subway Station, right by Casa Loma itself. And also our newest campus, which is down right by the lake, called Waterfront Campus. And I know this picture here doesn't have a rendering yet of our newest building called Limberlost, which will be opening this fall. So these are our 3 main campuses where most all of our programming takes place. We also do share a space at TMU's, Toronto Metropolitan University's campus, for our early childhood education programs. So depending on what program you might be studying or students might be studying, they'd be located at one of these specific campuses. So in terms of some top reasons why students choose George Brown, one, again, has to do with our location, accessibility. You can access our campuses with public transit, or of course, also by car or cycling, but often transit seems to be the most convenient way to get to many of our campuses. All of our programs incorporate some type of what we call hands-on learning. There's different words we use around this at the college. Sometimes we refer All of our programs also have what we call program advisory committees. And so this means all of our programs continually get updated or renewed to ensure that the curriculum and what we're teaching students is actually going to be relevant when they graduate, and to ensure that they're going to be prepared for industry. We also have amazing faculty and instructors. A lot of our instructors at George Brown actually continue to work in industry, which means that they're bringing their expertise and knowledge, also connections, to the classrooms when they speak and teach students. And sorry, this last piece is cut off for me here. And of course, yeah, as I mentioned, research and innovation is also a big piece of what we do at the college, and students can also get involved in many of these types of research and project initiatives around innovation. Okay, so a little bit in terms of the different types of credentials that George Brown offers. So I'll first talk about credentials and then areas of study. But in terms of what we offer primarily, are certificates, which are 1-year really foundation programs. So some examples would be pre-health or pre-business, media foundations. So these are really for students that are trying to explore an area and maybe haven't yet decided exactly what field or industry they're wanting to work in, but they can earn college credits. Sometimes these are sufficient for employment. So an example of one of those programs would be personal support worker, where in a 1-year or 8-month certificate, students could earn this personal support worker credential and begin working in that field, in that role. 2-year diplomas and 3-year advanced diplomas are our biggest, we'll say, bulk of programming that we offer across a lot of different fields, again, which prepares students for entry-level roles in a lot of different types of professions. We do offer 4-year degrees. You'll see that at the college, our degrees are more specific or we'll say applied comparative to a lot of university type degrees. And then we do have postgraduate programming. You won't find research-based master's programs. Those are only at universities, but the colleges like George Brown, we do all our full-time program runs an 8-week session. So different structure as you see from these other programs, which are usually semester 4-month based. And so the English program kind of works in a half semester, 8-week session by session. So I do not have time to go through all George Brown's programming, but I think it's helpful just to mention again how we're structured. So we have, I know it says 7 academic centers. We don't, I guess, officially consider our continuous or continuing education division its own center, but it really is. And so that's where all of our continuous education programming takes place. However, I will mention quickly the other ones. So preparatory and liberal studies, this is where our School of ESL is located amongst other programs, which I'll highlight in a minute. But we also have programming in art, design, and information technology, community and early childhood education, health sciences, hospitality and culinary arts, construction and engineering technology, which also includes trades and apprenticeships, and business. So you can see a pretty wide selection in terms of different programs. Okay, now I'm going to touch on some programming that we offer that specifically supports newcomers. So starting with programming around English as a second language. So for any students needing to improve or wanting to improve their English, the first program I'll mention here is English for Academic Purposes. This is a full-time program, so from Monday to Friday, there's classes during the daytime, and this can be taken either in person or online. And this program is OSAP eligible, meaning students could get OSAP funding if qualified. And this program is really about improving students' academic English level to meet proficiency to then take other credentials like I just mentioned, whether it's a certificate, a diploma, degree, or even postgraduate program. So this is what this program really focuses on. Continuing education ESL are really part-time courses and offered usually in the evenings or weekends, again, to accommodate learners that might still be working or have other commitments, family, professional, otherwise. But still want to improve their skills in ESL. And so this program is not OSAP eligible. And usually the fees for these courses are less than the full-time program. And then lastly, we have occupation-specific language training. And so these are courses for internationally educated professionals. So one of the requirements is demonstration of work experience in a profession in their home country. We do have a minimum level of English needed to enter this OSLT program. However, it's tuition free as this is funded by IRCC. And so there's specific fields like business, healthcare, also construction. And so professionals in these fields can get communication, vocabulary, and other industry-specific or occupation-specific training to improve either their work while they're working right now or hopefully future work in that field. Now, for students that already have a level of English proficiency, but maybe don't have the academic requirements to enter into a particular program at the college, we have what's called academic upgrading, which is free for residents of Ontario. And this is, for example, if students are missing a biology subject from high school that they might have taken a long time ago, or maybe want to refresh as well their skills where they haven't taken math for a long period of time and want to upgrade that course to qualify for a program. That's what academic upgrading is focused on. And these run over a semester base. So depending how many courses a student might want to take, it could be as short as 4 months, but it can be longer if they decide to take more courses or take it as a part-time status. The other program we have, which is very interesting and I think pretty unique, I'm not familiar if other colleges are offering this, but we call it Choices. And this is also free for residents of Ontario. And this is, I'll call it a bit of a crash course. It's a 5-day course that over a 5-day period, students are identifying what their strengths and skills are, and exploring some different career and industry trends to make an informed decision about if post-secondary is the right option for them, and also which programs might meet their long-term goals. So this is a really great option for newcomers as well. And lastly, this is a new program that was just launched this past fall called Renew. This program, again, is focused on supporting newcomers in terms of career readiness and improving their confidence in terms of navigating the Canadian workplace and job market. So this program is being offered tuition-free as we've received funding, thankfully, from Scotiabank. And so it's 10 weeks, and over the 10 weeks, students will learn about different subjects, whether it's transferable skills, you know, and some of the other, we'll say topics that some of the presenters touched on today, whether it's mock interviewing, preparing resume and cover letters. And also throughout the 10 weeks, we offer a number of different workshops, such as using AI in job search, as well as have panel discussions from industry employers as well. And so this program is delivered in a hybrid model where Mondays are in person at George Brown at our St. James campus, and then Tuesday to Friday are online. And the next intake we have for this program will start in May of this year. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to just touch on some services and support offered by the college as well that some of you may be aware that colleges typically offer, but if not, academic support. So through any of our programs, students have access to our library and support staff there as well, and labs. We have tutoring and transfer advising services. On the employment side, we have a career center where this is what they're dedicated to do in terms of supporting students in terms of finding work, whether that's while a student for a co-op or as they graduate or become alumni. We also organize career job fairs at the college. We have our own startup incubator called Start GBC, where if people are entrepreneurial and want to start their own business, they can get support with that as well. And then on the integration side, whether they're international students or newcomer students as domestic permanent residents, we have student life, our student association, athletics, or lots of different ways to get involved, network, and meet others. And lastly, we also have what we call entry advising support. So for anyone that wants to talk to an entry advisor, have a one-on-one appointment, they can also do skills assessments to identify what people's best suitability for programming offered at the college might be, reviewing admission requirements and timelines, understanding options for financial aid, scholarships, or awards. And then we also do have dedicated what we call pathway advisors for students already in the college, maybe looking to continue further with other programs. So I will end there. I'll also share this website and contacts as well as my contact in the chat here as soon as I log off in terms of my presentation. But again, just thank you. And
PowerPoint mode. Okay, as I promised, I'm going to be very quick. So I'm presenting another program from JVS Toronto. This is a bridging program called READY, Recruitment for Equity, Accessibility, and Diversity. Basically, what we do, we assist internationally trained professionals with a background in HR, recruitment, retail, travel, hospitality, sales, and marketing. And we're preparing them for a job or a career as recruiters, as talent acquisition, job developers in the nonprofit or private sectors. Program is 14 weeks. Is designed and delivered in partnership with George Brown College and RS Staffing Solution Agency. Program is also funded by Ministry of Labor, Immigration, Training and Skills Development of Ontario. So in this program, we have different, I'm sorry, let me just minimize this one so I can see better. In this program, we have some training, which I'm going to give you an overview of the trainings. Employer engagement course from George Brown College. At JVS, we provide exploring alternative careers and job search preparation, labor market research information, Canadian workplace essential and communication, including working in a unionized environment in Canada. We invite many guest speakers from the industry, networking event, LinkedIn training, and mentorship program with TRIAC that we also offer for Ready program. After finishing the program, again, we have opportunities for placement upon successful program completion for our graduates. From RS Staffing Solution, our participants are getting training, hands-on practical aspects of recruitment through the learning management system model. These trainings are sourcing and reviewing applicants, candidate experience, such as recruiter etiquette, industry rules and compliance, branding and technology, recruiter ethics, and best practices. That these are offered by RS Staffing Solution. Graduates will get a certificate from JVS and a certificate from George Brown College. Okay, again, I have the same problem with my slideshow. My apology, I don't know. Something is wrong with the slideshow. Let me stop sharing. If you don't mind, I'm not going to change to slideshow because for some reason it gives me some sort of glitch. So some added value training that we recently added to the program, Indigenous Awareness Training from Indigenous Corporate Training, Inc. We also added job shadowing at one of JVS location. As you know, we have 9 locations in GTA and other community partner agencies. One-on-one job search and career coaching that we do, networking with employers and industry experts we offer, and also mentorship program that I mentioned. A quick review of the program component. As I mentioned, academic training by George Brown College, 1 course, practical e-learning modules by RS Staffing Solution, employer information session and presentation by industry expert, one-on-one job search support by Ready facilitators, and mentorship program. The program is the employment opportunity after finishing the Ready program for our graduates are to be a job developer, employer liaison, and workplace specialist. So within Employment Ontario, these job opportunities, or the job titles, provide assistance and information to job seekers on all aspects of employment search and career planning, and they provide advice and information to employers regarding human resources. The salary is between 49 to 55K per year. We also train our graduates to be HR and recruitment officers, to work as HR recruitment officers within public and private sectors. Again, in these positions, they identify and advertise job vacancies and recruit candidates. They connect with employers employed through the private and public sectors in staffing agencies, businesses, nonprofit organization. Salary is a little higher in here, between 50 to 60K. I want to quickly show you some of the job titles that our ready graduate were able to secure after they finished the program. We have had participants who graduated from Ready, and they are now working as HR manager, HR coordinator, specialist, generalist, recruiter, talent acquisition consultant, job employment coach, job developer, workplace specialist, and more. These are some organizations who have hired our Ready graduates. So these are, I just gotta pause a little bit so you can see and read. YMCA Employment is an example. Achieve Employment, Access Employment, Skills for Change, Job Skills, Wood Green Community Center, and more. The program is funded by the government. Again, there is a small fee for admin, which is $149. This program is fully online from Monday to Thursday, 9:30 to 3. 80% attendance is required. We have support from our employment counselor and retention of the usual retention for all of the bridging program clients, 3, 6, 12, and 24 months after program completion. For the eligibility, same eligibility as the ISH, permanent resident, naturalized Canadian citizen, conventional refugee, refugee claimant with work permit, and CUAT. And our participant can be all over Ontario for this one because the program is fully online. The required documents are CLB 7 by the funder, but we accept CLB 6 as well. We need a copy of their immigration status, a copy of their degree, educational evaluation from one of the institutions that they do the evaluation for them. We also need our participants to have education and work experience in HR, recruitment, retail, travel, hospitality, sales, and marketing, as well as an updated resume. Next cohort planned to start in May 12, 2025, and information session from March 19 to March 28. I would invite everyone to share these information with your clients if they are interested, and they can attend the info sessions to know more about the program. I know this was very fast and quick. I'm going to share the all these information, the contact information in the chat with you. And thank